Hello, world, and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Solutions. I'm your host, Alex Stanton, your Boston-based agent and investor. I am here to give you another two analyses today. I already ran some of the numbers here. As I've taken a saying, please don't sue me if you decide to do exactly what I advise in this. That may or may not work for you. This is just how I like to run my numbers, and you should always do your own due diligence. So this is episode number 7. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to start sharing my screen right now, and we're going to see what's cooking. I have two more properties for us to take a look at. First one is a 3-family at 20 Ninigret Avenue in Providence. We are going to take a look at this real quick. So let me find that property again. I was just looking over at Baldwin Court. That is one that we were looking at a couple days ago. I'm still kind of tossing that one around in my brain. It looks cool to me. I think we're in the same general area, so Ninigret should pop up pretty quick. Let me see. And that's not it. Here we go. All right. So listing for $245. It was originally at $250, and they dropped that price down. I think it's been on for a little while because that was previously terminated. Okay, we are looking at the wrong property. Not sure why Wendell Street popped up there. And here we go. Let's try this one more time. Wow, this is not working for me right now. Here we go. All right, hopefully that loads. So what we have is in place, okay rents, 3043, ends up being 1014 a unit. So I already ran my numbers for this right at that at asking purchase price, assuming a pretty light amount of work on this. If we look through these photos, we only have 9, so there's not a ton of information to go off of. I would definitely recommend ripping up that carpet. It's only going to have to get replaced later anyway, and it doesn't look great right now. That's going to cost you a pretty penny, but nothing crazy. Unfortunately, there's very little for us to go off of from this, so it's hard to say what exactly we're going to be looking at in terms of the rehab. So I'm actually going to drop that up to 15 grand a unit, just to give ourselves a little bit more breathing room here in terms of what we might expect. Of course, that's going to hurt our cash-on-cash return, but I would rather, again, try to be a little bit more conservative for you. Anyway, we're looking at potential rents of about $12.50 a unit for these 2 beds. I'm going to throw that through Renter Meter one more time just to confirm. So let's pop through here. Generally speaking, we'll get some pretty accurate numbers from this. Potentially, these are all pretty small 2 beds, 680 square feet. Potentially, they will come in a little bit lower than the average. That's not big. They're going to have to be very attractive in terms of the kitchen and the bathroom to command high rents here. So I have them as potentially coming up to $12.50. That looks like it will be aggressive for their size and for the area. However, definitely doable. All those rents that are blue are coming in around the middle of the range, which is going to be that $12.60. Anything in the green is coming in a little bit lower, and the reds are coming in a little bit higher. So there's a pretty equal spread here. There's no particular reason why I would expect this unit to perform significantly differently from A, B, C, D, any of those, without knowing that neighborhood much better. So on that quick run through, I do think there's a decent chance of getting that $12.50, but we're going to need those units to be pretty. Some easy ways to do that: granite countertops, a little bit of tile, a little bit of backsplash, make the kitchen and the bathroom really nice, make floors that you're not going to have to replace every year, and that should kind of get you going. So here we go. What we're looking at is about a 5.75% potential return if we do pump those rents up. This is assuming an 8% reserve each in management, vacancy, repairs, and CapEx, which I think is quite possible. This is also a smaller building. These are small 3 beds. This is saying a total living area of 2,040 square feet. For whatever reason, Realtor.com is saying 3,588. I'm going to assume that it's closer to that lower number, which means that we don't have a massive amount of space to take care of, which is a good thing. Let's go halfway between the two. Not that that's going to drive a ton in terms of how we're doing this review. Property's been on the market now for 5 days since their new price. I do think it was on for a while before that, so decent possibility that there's some work that needs to be done. Currently, it's not leased up, which is good. This would be a case where I would definitely want to get it delivered vacant if at all possible. It's not horrible. We're not actually losing money with the rents as is. So as long as the tenants are paying, which in today's market, who knows, that's kind of a big fear. This could be a pretty good starting property, whether for a house hack or just to kind of make your first purchase in Providence. You know, you're not going to lose a bunch on this, at least most likely. You know, setting $12,000 a year in reserves, I think we can definitely build up a little something here. Over time, you will average out to close to these expenses when the big stuff hits. Obviously, like one year you might spend 3,000, and then another year you spend 15. You never know. But I think this is a decent property. We're going to look at one more. The numbers didn't come in quite as good here. This is Concannon Street in Providence. The thing that was interesting about this is that the listing claims that there's potential to add a fourth unit. It is listed as being very spacious on Realtor.com. Again, I don't know how accurate that is. The MLS listing for this one, this is up in the north side of Providence. So give me a second to zip on over there. I pulled this one up already, so I should get to it a little bit quicker. Assuming my spreadsheet loads. Uh-oh. Internet's a little funky today. Hopefully you guys aren't experiencing too much lag. Oh boy. All right, we're getting close. Just another moment here. And I believe this is it. Here we go. All right, Concannon Street. So potential fourth unit is their claim. They're saying that it's 5,300 square foot property. It's assessed at $207,000. List price is at $379,000. Property's been on the market for 12 days, so not a super long time. There's not a lot of photos on here, so this could be another one that's going to sit a little bit. Rents in place supposedly are at $3,600. They're claiming 1,000 square feet a unit, but if the building is as big as they say it is, that either means that they're counting a bunch of square footage in the basement, which is not a possible fourth unit. That might be something where if you really want to play a game here and break the rules a little bit, you could potentially live in there yourself, but you can't technically legally put tenants into that kind of a basement unit. You need to have 2 points of exit, including safe windows to climb out of. I don't know the exact rules there, but I do know that little garden level right there is not going to work out. So if that's what they mean by a fourth unit, that's not happening. However, we're going to run this through Rentometer. I came to the conclusion earlier that there was a potential to get 1,500 a unit. So let's see if I can back that up right now. We are looking at 1,450 being the average. I think it's possible that we could get 1,500, but I'm going to drop these numbers down to be a little bit more conservative on this. I think this is another one where we said, okay, the price point based on where it is, if those units do need work, then it's overpriced. So that 45 might be an overestimate in terms of the rehab. But we're going to see what happens with this. Property taxes based on the purchase price are going to be pretty high. I did pull back a little bit. I said, okay, what if that assessor comes back and gives us 3/4 of that value? So they're assuming if the assessor, for example, comes back and says, all right, you paid $379, we're going to assess it now at like upper 200s. That's possible. It was previously assessed at 207 just last year, I believe. Yeah, 2019. So maybe they're not going to drop it or jump it up 100,000 when you buy. Hard to know for sure. I'd have to talk to someone in an assessor's office to find out more about how they do that. Maybe I'll do that soon. Anyway, so I pulled back the property taxes a little bit to try and make this one work. That was a bad move on my part. You can always massage a spreadsheet, so don't do it. Bad move on my part. So unfortunately, when I fixed that little jump on my hand, we were getting a barely break-even property. So this is pretty ugly. Definitely no winners for us today. I'm going to have to run some more numbers tomorrow to give us something better to look at. Anyway, that is just a quick run through. So nothing too great there. We're going to keep looking. We're going to spend another week or two in Providence. Again, this was only episode number 7. I want to at least look through 30 to 50 properties, really get a taste of the market before we move on to something else. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, be well, and hope to see you next time. Take care.